Hello my Smooners, welcome back to being Mrs. S, and now I'm going to sprinkle some BGM on you. I know you guys have missed a little bit of the sprinkling. Okay, so it's been a minute. I know I should give myself a little bit of a spanking. Last year was very tough for me to sit down in front of the computer, in front of the camera and record. I'm telling you, I don't know how the influencers do it, but kudos to them. It's it takes a lot. Now, I shouldn't be saying what I'm saying because I do enjoy it. I love it. I love sharing what's going on with me with you guys. But I think at the end of last year, I said, okay, I'm making a New Year's resolution. I'm going to do a lot more recording, whether it's for my podcast, my YouTube channel. I just need to put more content out there because number one, I want to grow my community. Absolutely. I need a lot more people to subscribe, like, share, comment. And I want to also put out more different things. You know, after all, it's being Mrs. S. There's a reason it's called being Mrs. S. I'm talking about my life being married. Although it's been very much about my weight loss journey and things like that. And I'm so thankful and grateful that you guys have been on this journey with me. I like to say keeping me honest. So the last video I did about the weight loss was letting you guys know that I had transitioned to Zepbound. Okay, so the last video I had put up was letting you know I had transitioned to Zepbound. When was this? Probably in oh, I can't remember. And so, you know, I was on Ozempic, obviously. I started with the 0.25 and then went all the way to the 2 meg. And these are, I think I used this. I'm trying to find the third one. I didn't go to the 0.5 because I had an excess of this or whatever. You know, if you obviously been following my journey, my weight loss on Ozempic was hella successful. I was so excited about it, and I was determined to like keep to the rules of taking the medicine, which was if your BMI is under 27.5 or whatever, you shouldn't be on it, this, that, and the other. So remember, I started out at 275 pounds. I'm saying that because that's when I noticed how big I was. I was obviously a lot heavier than that. I had started already working out. So we'll just say 275. And from 275, I went down to like 260s and 250s, and then went back up to the 260s because I wasn't going past 250s, and that's when I decided to get on Ozempic. So from being on Ozempic, I very successful. I got down to 163.1 pounds or something like that. I think it was 163.1. Actually, no, I got down to 170. Yeah, 163. I'm trying to think if I kept losing after I got off. I think it was 170, and then I lost after I stopped taking Ozempic September of 2023. And I think I got down to about 163.1 after that, right around September, mid-September, October, beginning of October. So then I said, oh, I'm going to stop taking Ozempic because I think I can do it on my own from here onwards. And between the time I stopped taking Ozempic to December, I had gained back about 20 pounds. So I was up to about 180 something. December, I traveled to Jamaica for a friend's birthday. And by the time I got back, by the time the new year rolled around, I was up into the 180s, mid 180s. And then I said, you know, if this continues, I'm just going to go back on Ozempic, which I did. And while on Ozempic, I didn't lose any more. I gained a few pounds here and there. I know that by the time I got to, when was it? By the time I got to about June, I was in the 190s while I was on Ozempic. So obviously my body had gotten used to Ozempic. It wasn't working anymore, and it was ridiculous. So, you know, I decided, well, let me give something else a try, which was Mounjaro. And I had thought about getting on Mounjaro. I looked at the cost of it, and mind you, all the time I was on Ozempic, it wasn't covered by my insurance. I wasn't even getting discounts on it. So I got discounts from my pharmacy, the grocery store pharmacy, and but it was still costing me a lot more money than I would have liked to have paid for it. So, and I think in my video when I told you guys about Zepbound, how I decided to get on it was because I'm tracking all these things, right? And I saw that Eli Lilly was offering a vial version of Zepbound. So, and then you have to go through some, anyway, I told you guys the story. They ended up being just the same thing as me going to my doctor and having my doctor write me the prescription for Zepbound. I wasn't offered the vial version. I was offered the regular Zepbound version to get it. I thought that I was going to be able to get it at a lower rate since I was going through these guys. They were like, oh, they're good. They can get the prior authorization done and all this. And they didn't do any of that. So my first Zepbound, where is it? I think it was this one. Yeah, so the first one I took, I think was a 10 meg, I think. I thought it was 7.5. No, 10. I started with the 10 meg, this one. And I paid full price for it. I think I got a little bit off from my pharmacy, grocery store pharmacy. Now, let me tell you, forget about CVS, Walgreens, all these people, Rite Aid, whoever. Go to your pharmacy in your grocery store. They, customer service, everything, plus price-wise, they were the best as far as I'm concerned. And I was like, I kicked CVS to the curb after they had some guy who was really disgusting there, supposedly a pharmacist. I was like, I'm never going here again. And then, of course, Walgreens is too expensive. So I've been going to my grocers, the pharmacy in my grocery store. So when I realized these people couldn't get me, I couldn't get the vial version, and the vial version was made in the 2 lowest doses, and they didn't even start me off with that, so that was pointless. I canceled the I don't know, is it a membership or subscription? And I just went through my doctor, my primary care physician, as I was with Ozempic. I just told them to write me the prescription for Zepbound. And the next step up from the 10 was the 12.5. Now, by the time I had my doctor write me this prescription, and I realized that this was the only route I was going to have to take, I decided to spend more time finding out if there's discounts out there. So I looked for GoodRx. GoodRx had a good discount. It wasn't as good as my pharmacy. And as I kept looking, Eli Lilly was offering, you know, if you have insurance and it's not covered by your insurance, you might qualify for this discount, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I tried that before, it didn't work with Ozempic. But then that's Novo Nordisk. I said, well, let me try it again. And I tried it, and Eli Lilly, I'm getting Zepbound for $650 using the manufacturer's coupon. That coupon was good until December of last year, and then randomly they sent me another message saying that it's been extended to June of 2025, which I really, really hope June of 2025 they'll send me another extension. And I really, really hope that by then all this craziness about this drug not being covered by the insurance maybe will be sorted out. I don't know. There's been crazy things that happened. You heard about the CEO last year, so I don't know if they will reconsider their policies when it comes to covering certain drugs and things like that. So anyway, so I went from the 10 meg to the 12.5, and now I am on the highest dose, which is the 15, which is just the same way I did it with Ozempic, but now with Eli Lilly. Now, just as I was getting on to Zepbound, the FDA, I think it is the FDA, said took them off the scarcity list. So, is that the word they use? Is it scarcity or I think that's the word. So, why is this important? Shortage, that's the word I was looking for. The shortage list. Sometime in 2022 and 2023, Ozempic and Mounjaro and Ozempic and Mounjaro and this new GLP and GIP drugs were put on a shortage list. Now, once these drugs get on shortage lists, they it opens up access to compounders. They take the main drug and mix it and make it available for people because there's a shortage, right? People who need to be on these drugs to get them. I don't know. There are pharmacists and there's like compounding chemists out there. Compounders are basically when you have a prescription for a specific drug, medicine, or whatever, you have maybe some kind of allergic reaction to one of the agents that are contained in the main drug or something, and you can't take it, but the actual drug is good for you. These compounders can mix these things up for you, minus that thing that you're allergic to or that could harm you, and that's how you get it. So these pharmacies can give you semaglutide, can give you tirzepatide, which is what Zepbound and Mounjaro are, because the FDA has put it on a shortage list. So right around last year when I got on Zepbound, the FDA took Ozempic and Mounjaro and, off of the shortage list. So meaning that it's now available, you're not running, you wherever you go, you can find it. And taking them off of the shortage list means that these compounders cannot continue to make this product. And if they are still making it, they would be in violation. And of course, the Eli Lillys and the Novo Nordisk of the world have been trying to get FDA to take them off of the shortage list because of all the issues that are out there because of these compounders making money off of their own, drugs or whatever. So I remember somebody saying I could go and get this compounding thing at a lower rate. I'm getting at $650. The ones that I looked at, they were maybe about $600 or something different, just slightly different, not that much. So I just said, nah, I'll just stick to the real deal. Okay, I love Zepbound. Like, I thought I loved Ozempic, which I do. I will never ever talk bad, because that thing got me where I need to get to. I think my body got used to it, so it wasn't working as well as it worked when I first got on it. But Zepbound, sister, once I shot myself with the thing, I knew this was going to work. And it has been doing wonders for me since then. Now, I'm going to talk about a few things that maybe I don't particularly like about this. The needle is long. Now, the first time I gave myself the shot, I didn't feel it. I was worried about the length of the needle and how huge it was, but I didn't feel it. However, I'm getting scarred with the shots, and then subsequent times I've been giving myself the shots, there's been a little bit of blood, and I'm giving myself the shots in the stomach, so I'm getting a little scarred around my stomach area, which I'm not particularly thrilled about. And that's the one thing I don't appreciate about Zepbound. Other than that, everything is perfect. Another thing I noticed, now I'm trying to think, on Ozempic, I'm not someone who ever really craved much of anything, but there wasn't a, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. So I had wine day weekends with my husband. Fridays we get a bottle of wine, Cabernet Sauvignon, Barolo, and we'll drink. While I was on Ozempic, I didn't feel the need so much to partake in alcohol so much. Not that I was turned off of it, but I could take or leave it, which kind of is the same situation with me on Zepbound. But let me tell, okay, and then this was something I think I failed to tell you guys while I was on Ozempic, and I think I talked about it when I got on Zepbound. Even though I did get a little bit while I was on Ozempic, my mental clarity was at 100%, my brain was so sharp. You see, and that's one thing, if anything, if I were to just say, okay, I've reached my goal, but I will stay on this Ozempic or Zepbound, because of how clear my brain was. Like, I was feeling like a genius, like Einstein, on most days. And it's kind of the same on Zepbound as well. I don't understand, it's weird. It's not as great as it felt on Ozempic, but it's on the same level. Now, on Zepbound, if you know me, you know how much I love my bread and butter. I love bread and butter. At least I thought. There was never a shortage of bread in this house. Okay? Now, I haven't had a single craving for bread. Not one. Normally, as a snack, I would throw 2 slices of toast and then just paste the whole butter on it. I can't remember the last time I had bread. And then I think my husband and we went out to dinner this one time, and they bring the bread on the table. I took a pinch of the bread, and I was like, no thanks. I was like, no thank you. It's the oddest thing. It is the oddest thing. I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like I miss my bread, but I just don't feel the need to eat bread. It is crazy. Anyway, so let me get into how much weight I have lost, I think. So when I started, I don't know if this is correct. When I started back on Ozempic, I had gotten all the way up to 180 something. And while going on with the Ozempic last year, I got into the 190s. I know that by the end of September of last year and October, I had gotten up to the 190s, okay, when I had just started back on Zepbound. And between then, I think that was, is it September? And now, January, I have lost, what is that? I don't know. What is this thing saying? 27.2 pounds. I think this is right. No, it's not. I'm currently at 168.6. Let's just put it that way. So I'm currently at 168.6 pounds, which is 5 pounds away from where I was when I stopped Ozempic. So I'm going to stand up and show you what. Look at this. I can't believe, look at all the space in this t-shirt. Oof. I think I've done a good job. I have been, I saw was it a meme or something? I think it was yeah, I saw a meme about Ozempic has, somebody walked into the gym and the gym was empty, and then it was about something about Ozempic has stopped people from going to the gym or something. And I was like, I know it's, people are trying to be funny, but where are these people getting these ideas from? First of all, you're not going to lose weight if you're not exercising. Or at least I don't think that I would have lost as much or the way that I did if I hadn't been exercising regularly, even if it was just for 30 minutes. And I've noticed that on Zepbound, definitely more so than Ozempic, because Ozempic, I had moments where I didn't work out, but I definitely did intermittent fasting. I had days when I ate, days I skipped certain meals. You know, I only had certain things in those days. I had, you know, one day off, one day on, you know, or whatever, for intermittent fasting. While I've been on, when I went back on Ozempic and since I've been on Zepbound, I haven't done that so much. Of course, I'm not eating as much, obviously, but I haven't been doing the intermittent day, some days on, some days off. And if you remember, I started doing that because of my slow digestive system, which I figured that was part of the reason. You know, so I would skip days just to allow the food to digest and do whatever it needed to do. So since I've been on Zepbound, I haven't been doing that as well. But I have been working out Mondays through Fridays, at least 30 minutes. I'd go an hour over an hour, Monday through Friday. Just last week, I incorporated Saturday, and I'm pushing to do Saturdays and Sundays, even if it's just weights. I focus on Saturdays and Sundays just to give me a little bit of boost. My goal is to get down to 130 pounds. When I first started, I said I want to get down to 140. 140 because I know what I look like at 140. At 140, I look like I'm 120 pounds. But I haven't been at 130 in a while. And I'm saying 130 because of how easy it was for me to get 20 pounds back when I lost, when I got down to 160, whatever. And next thing you know, I was at 180 something within a few months. So I want to get down to 130 because I know it's easy to gain that 20 pounds back. And at 150, I'm still at normal weight. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are right now. What else? I haven't had a lot of questions about how I've been on Zepbound. Zepbound has been seamless, just like Ozempic was for me. I haven't had a single side effect. It's just been a really, really easygoing time for me. Of course, I keep watching for signs or the side effects that they talk about, and just to see if any of those things are occurring with me. And I haven't experienced a single side effect. My skin is beautiful. The whites of my eyes are clear. I keep looking at my throat to make sure there's no crazy lumps or whatever. So any of those things that they say to watch out for, I'm looking at, and I don't think that I have any of those things have come my way or will. And but here's the thing, this time around, I know I said, you know, when I was on Ozempic, I was like, I get down to 20 to 27 or whatever, under 27, and I'm gonna get off Ozempic and I'm gonna do it myself. This time around, I'm not going to get off Zepbound. I'm gonna stay on Zepbound. I hate to say it, but I think that's how it has to be, at least. I don't want to say for the rest of my life, but I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. If it was that easy for me to get back to 180, I have to protect myself. So I'll see. I'll get down to 130. I'll see what happens if I stop. And if I'm able to keep the weight off, then maybe I won't. But I think I'm going to stay on it. So right now I am getting Zepbound for, this is the one I'm on right now, the 15 meg. And I'm getting it for $6.50 thanks to Eli Lilly and their the coupon, manufacturer's coupon that I get. And I'm losing at least a pound or point whatever every day or every other day. I have had days where I've gone up, gained a little bit, because that day I decided, oh honey, let's order something, let's order out, and then food comes and water retention, I'm not sure what it is. It's so weird how this weights, and then the very next day you've gained 3 pounds just because you ate some nonsense. Like, I don't even understand how that works. It's illogical to me, but that is the hand that I have been dealt. So anyway, I don't want to make promises, but I feel like I should. That way I will be forced to be consistent. But I want to do so much more. More videos, more discussions, obviously, in my podcast. You guys, if you listen to my podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, more videos, my little puffballs. This is the way that I have to handle this hair, because it is a tough thing to do, so I put it like this. I'm going to wash my hair soon. The quarters don't work. I gotta do it in much smaller batches to be able to handle it. But anyway, this is where your girl is. I have, as of now, 38 more pounds to go, and I think I'll be able to do it before my milestone. But so far so good. Everything feels good. And oh my god, I don't know, how do you like this beat? I haven't put makeup on my face in a while, and the dimensions of my face have changed a little, obviously, because I've lost weight. So my contouring and things like that, I have to kind of shift it again, because I'm like, I'm not sure, like the contouring I was doing before is not, I can't, it has to change a little bit, because my face has slimmed down considerably. So yeah, that's the Happy New Year to you guys. Merry Christmas to you guys. Epiphany, all those things. I am going to be consistent. I'm going to give you more information. Ask me everything you want about Zepbound. I'm a guru on Ozempic, and I'm a guru on Zepbound. And the only reason I'm on Zepbound, I'm not Mounjaro, because Mounjaro is probably cheaper than Zepbound as well. Not probably, it is. But I'm on Zepbound because I got the discount, so which got it a lot lower than Mounjaro and obviously Ozempic. I would have stayed on Ozempic if I was seeing any of the results that I had seen when I first got on Ozempic. But the body is, I'm telling you, God is wonderful. The way this body works, it needs to be studied. I mean, obviously it is studied, but I got used to Ozempic and it wasn't as effective as it was when I first started getting it. Hopefully, I hope that's not what happens to me on Zepbound. I hope Zepbound continues at least until I reach my goal, right? And yeah, so that's kind of where we are right now. I definitely will put some more content out there for you guys to see this year. There's going to be some traveling. I'm planning a girls trip, and stay tuned for everything that went on in getting that together. And yeah, and hopefully a lot more interesting content, more makeup do's, just a whole lot of stuff, unboxing, I don't know, but yeah, thank you, my Smooners. And don't forget to live, laugh, and love. And I will circle back.